Controversial influencer Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan are arrested in Romania as part of a human trafficking probe.
So by now we're all aware that Andrew Tate has been arrested on charges of human trafficking. Obviously, we don't know how legitimate this is because it is innocent until proven guilty, but still, this is pretty hysterical. Andrew Tate, of course, is claiming that this is the Matrix trying to get him. So I guess the Matrix is just like the law? Okay, either way, enjoy this video of Andrew Tate being absolutely unhinged in honor of his arrest. Let's watch Andrew Tate apparently destroy feminists. Take it away, Tate. Andrew Tate, go for it.
There has not been, in the history of humanity, across any culture, any book, any story, any fable, there has never been across the history of humanity any respect put on the name of a promiscuous female, ever. Ever. You name the biggest conquerors that you can possibly name from history. Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, all of them. They all had 100 wives, bunch of children, Big G, conquered the world. Normal. That is normal evolutionary biology. That's how men are designed to be. There's never been a single female who's been celebrated for her promiscuity, ever in history. It's always been frowned upon and disgusting. So yes.
What? Because it's been this way throughout history, that means it's the way it should be? It's evolutionary? It's biological? What? What are you talking about? It's almost like for a long time, men were in the majority of control. Men held the majority of power positions. Men don't like promiscuous women, so they can shit on promiscuous women. That becomes something that's normalized and understood, and then that becomes a norm throughout society and throughout history. How is this not? What? Okay, yeah, you know, they used to do it. That's how it was in history, guys. I don't even know what's the argument here? Okay, yeah, promiscuous women have been looked down upon before. There's also been promiscuous men who have been looked down upon.
We are completely and utterly different. Yes, it's different if a woman cheats on a man. And if a man is at a complete top level of his life and ticks every single box, and if he decides to be loyal, which some do, and I can be loyal, and I have been loyal, but there's also times in my life where I think, fuck it, I don't want to be, and get a new girlfriend every single day of the week. I can do that, and I can decide to do that. If a woman decides to do the same.
So then you're acknowledging then that it's okay if a man is high status, according to you, according to your arbitrary checklist, that he can mentally and emotionally abuse his current partner. That's what you're saying right now. You're saying that so long as you tick this arbitrary box, that all of a sudden, it's okay if you want to just dump your partner for another girl, or if you feel like it, just go cheat on her. Okay, cool. So apparently, guys, if you check the right boxes, Andrew Tate's little checklist, you want to go and emotionally abuse your partner? Have fun. God be with ya. Thank you, Andrew Tate.
Purely because her value is high enough to attract so many males, because she's beautiful, for example. It is completely different. And I'm going to explain to you why it's completely different, so buckle up. It's different. It's different. It's different. Well, I'll tell you why. It is impossible for a female to be promiscuous on a long enough period of time without devaluing herself, because she is fucking people she shouldn't be fucking.
Do you think that her feeling devalued by having sex with multiple people has anything to do at all, anything to do with certain societal norms that women who sleep around are sluts, but men who sleep around are the baller top Gs? Anything at all, Tate? Do you think that could have anything to do with it? You just got done saying throughout history, promiscuous women have always been looked down upon. And now you're saying when women act promiscuous, sometimes they feel guilty. Yes, that's what would follow if societally we look down upon people who were promiscuous. How are you so fucking stupid?
There's no way she is sleeping with endless men, and all of them are either high-value men or treating her the way she should be treated.
This is what they do all the time also. Sleeping with endless men. That's not necessarily how it is, you know? Like, maybe she's just in a relationship. She gets out of a relationship. She meets a guy she likes. She sleeps with him. That was just a one-night stand. She moves on. They always make this an extreme, hyperbolic example of endless men. She's literally has her legs spread, and there's a conveyor belt of men, and it's just one, and then the other, and then the other, and then the other. It's literally a sex factory. She's at the end of the conveyor belt.
If you find a woman who slept with 50, 100 dudes, she's either fucking dudes which aren't at her level or haven't worked hard enough to try and get the pussy. She was just too drunk to realize he's a loser who plays video games. Or she's fucking a top G who barely texts her back. So either way, she's fucking dudes she shouldn't be fucking. Or
Is there anybody here that thinks it would be attractive to have a partner that slept with over 50 people? Do you think that it's like, oh, well, a woman has slept with 50 people? Yikes. A man slept with 50 people? Cool. Really? Do you think any woman, what if there's a really beautiful woman, okay? She's a high value woman and she wants a high value man. Do you think she's gonna view a man who has slept with upwards of 100 people as high value? Yeah, he's a guy who's fucked literally the entire county, but you know, who cares, right? Because he's high value. He checks the box. I don't even understand. Like, this is just incoherent.
a guy who's at the level who doesn't give her the right amount of attention. For a woman to find a guy who's truly on a level, who truly treats her the way she should be treated, that's once every couple years, if that. You ain't just gonna go out there fucking a new dude every week and say, yeah, he's worth pussy. Yeah, he treats me good enough to get my pussy, da-da-da. And you know what's funny about the universe? It's actually...
I like also all of his rants could basically just be succinctly summarized by Andrew Tate thinks that women's worth is based only on their sexuality. That's it. That's what carries a woman's worth, is how many sex partners she's had. That's it.
Beautiful about the universe, because it's equal and opposite forces. When you devalue yourself, it's kind of like men can smell it on you. They can just look at a bitch and go, oh. And that's the way it works. So you have to be very careful as a female and sit and go, does this man truly deserve to fuck me? And if you think about it,
look out, ladies, okay? Us men, we're like bloodhounds. We can sniff out the devaluation, okay? Hold on, what's this? I'm getting a whiff of a girl who's had 18 sex partners. I smell daddy issues. Yep, that's how us men are. The bloodhounds. We can sniff it out.
99% of the time, especially if you're promiscuous, is no. So when a woman is sleeping around with all these men, she's devaluing herself. She's devaluing herself, and the world knows, God knows, the universe knows. When a man does it, he doesn't devalue himself.
The world knows, God knows, and oh man, how am I going to debunk all of this stupid shit without pausing it every like 5 seconds? God knows, okay? Which God?
At all. That's just the way it works.
Can I ask you a question? Wait, Esther, 1 second. Sir, may I ask you a question? What would you say if a woman now is married to 2 men?
Haram.
Why?
No, I'll tell you why. Let's talk about this. What is the difference between a man, let's say me, I have 4 wives, right? What's the difference between a man having 4 wives and a woman having 4 men?
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time.
You can impregnate the 4 wives at the same time, and we know who the parents are, right? So
Yes.
let's say you had 4 pregnancies, you know who the mother is because she's carrying the baby, and you know who the dad is, top G. If you had a woman with 4 men and she gets pregnant, who's the parents?
What about if...
But no, I'm asking.
First of all, this is a weird appeal to nature. I don't know why this is distinguishing anything. Second of all, there's such a thing as a DNA test. If it's one guy with 4 women, you know who got her pregnant. If it's one woman with 4 guys, you don't know who got her pregnant until the baby is born and you have a DNA test. Somehow this makes these 2 things incredibly different.
Okay,
you know?
I ask, what if they're different races? One
Answer
white,
the
one black.
question.
You don't know.
Answer the question.
You don't know. Now, modern science can come along and maybe fix that for you, but that doesn't mean it's not wrong in the eyes of God. The idea of having...
Oh yeah, so recently he converted to Islam. I have no idea why a man like this would have converted to Islam. Very big mystery right there. Second of all, it's wrong in the eyes of God. Now, not only do we have this like literal caveman argumentation, we now have a stupid fuck appeal to God. This is why people like this guy gravitate towards this idea of God, is because God is the ultimate authority. So now he doesn't even have to put himself out there. Now it's just, well, that's what God wants. Now I can bludgeon you hoes because of what God said. It's so fucking cringe.
A family, the idea of a child being born, one of the baselines for a new life to come onto this planet is for at least to understand who the 2 people who made it are. At least. If you have a woman fucking 4 dudes, you don't even know who got her pregnant.
So may I just
It's
say...
disgusting.
Wait.
So get a paternity test. What? Well, I'm at a loss for words. Okay.
Have you seen the twins that had 2 different dads?
Oh yeah, I saw that. May I just say something then? So if that is the case, yeah, if the one thing that you're meant to have is you, at least you know who the 2 people that put that child on earth are, then that's why promiscuity for men is also a problem, because they get women pregnant. Sometimes they don't even know they have children. That's haram, no?
No, it's completely different. It's different because you have...
Good point, lady. It's true. If a dude's fucking around What if he has a one-night stand with a girl and then she goes off and has sex with her partner or something, and then she gets pregnant? He might not know that it's his kid.
You have to understand, I'm talking about humans. You look at humans from a societal perspective, but society has changed, right? So let's say 200-300 years ago, if a woman got pregnant, she needed a man to survive.
What? Guys, listen, okay, right now everything is fine and dandy, but imagine 300 years ago, before we had progressed as society. She needed a man to survive. Yeah, that was the problem. You numbskull. That was the goddamn issue. Is that she needed a man to survive, just to get by. A man was somehow necessary. That was the problem. Well, 300 years ago, okay, cool, yeah, a couple decades ago, slavery was okay. So let's talk about how slavery is now okay? Like, what? This is incoherent. Even trying to summarize his arguments gives me a fucking aneurysm.
If that man didn't take care of her during pregnancy, she was going to die. She couldn't work a job. She couldn't hunt, couldn't fish, whatever, right? A woman literally needed that man for survival. So if you were to come to me and say, I'm pregnant, but you've been fucked by 4 different dudes, I'd be like, who says it's mine? Why am I looking after you? None of them want to look after her. She will literally perish. This is why in most of the world today,
In 300 years ago, sure. Also, you realize the fact that you need to appeal to 300 years ago demonstrates that you probably have the wrong views, because the world has progressed and changed. Usually, although it takes a long time sometimes, humans tend to stop doing things that we start to recognize as wrong and unnecessary. So when you're like, 300 years ago, okay, who gives a fuck? Why does that matter? 300 years ago, you probably would have been a serf.
still today, virginity is so coveted. And throughout all of history, it's been so coveted because that's the only way to ensure paternity. She's a virgin. I know that's my baby. She ain't a virgin. Prove it's mine. Outside of this.
If she's not a virgin, you can still have sex with her exclusively if you're in a committed relationship. Like, you realize, Tate, the problems right now that you're complaining about are actually partially a result of your mentality that men should just be fucking around. You realize that, right? Second of all, this is a contradiction that these people never seem to recognize, is that they simultaneously say that women should just have one sex partner, they should be virgins, don't sleep around, but then they also say men should be sleeping around. Who are the men going to be sleeping around with if all the women are being good virgins? Make it make sense.
Modern science bullshit, Shaitan, the devil we have here. She ain't a virgin, prove it's mine. Outside of this modern science bullshit, Shaitan, the devil we have here in the West, in most of the world today, without virginity or at least a low body count or at least anti-promiscuity, you can't tell that that's your baby. So it's a completely different thing. You're looking at...
Yeah, that bullshit science, making it so that your arbitrary distinguisher here from a man or a woman being promiscuous doesn't actually hold up. Goddamn science, man. Now we have this bullshit science which can, give us paternity tests and tell me if I'm the father or not. Well, if that only didn't exist, then it would actually make a whole lot of sense as to why women shouldn't be promiscuous. Fucking science, am I right? It's just hilarious. Like, yeah, science exists, which now defeats your dipshit argument entirely.
The idea of a woman being pregnant and coming to a group of men and saying, one of you has to take care of me and put up with me when I'm fat and moody and annoying and I need my bills paid. And all the men are going to sit there and go, no, fuck no, prove it's mine. You can't prove it, bounce. Where it's different. If I get 4 women pregnant, we know who.
What woman would want to be like, yeah, I want to be with this guy. He's a top G because he has a lot of money, but he's also fat and smelly and generally undesirable. And he thinks that I'm property. This goes both ways. Like, if you're a fucking piece of shit, if you're a goddamn potato, then yeah, you're probably not going to be very attractive to a potential partner. This goes for men and women. Why are you making this sound like it's only for women?
We know the deal.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So obviously back then for survival, women needed a man. Otherwise, when they were pregnant, they could die and all of these things, they would perish. In today's society, given evolution, given the fact that as women we can go
Still
and
need
get...
men.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that. Isn't there a glitch between what is actually happening and the nature of what we have in our bodies? I think that's probably the conflict that we're having right now.
Glitch in what way?
In the sense that women don't feel like they need men in the most physical sense, perhaps
that's
like
right.
naturally.
It's very interesting. Women don't feel like they need men in a physical sense because life is soft, but it's bullshit. And it's bullshit because you still need men by proxy, 1, and 2, the second life gets difficult, you very quickly learn how much you need men. But women don't.
Wait, men need women also by proxy, okay? Women having babies is what keeps society going. It's what keeps society alive. Men need women, women need men. We need each other for society to function. What are you talking about right now? So it's only grooming when the gays do it, and it's only bad when the women do it. conservative big brain logic.
Go, I'm an independent. I don't need no man because I have an OnlyFans and men pay my OnlyFans. And if anyone comes up to me, I'll call a male police officer. I don't need men. Shut up, you fucking idiot. Of course you do. You just named your whole life is based on fucking men. The road you're driving on was paved by a man. The house you're living in was built
Your
by...
existence is because of a woman. Like, do you want to do this all day? The fact that you're even up here saying dumb shit into this microphone is because of a fucking woman. The fact that you have Wi-Fi is because a woman invented the frequency hopping technology that we use nowadays. The fact that you're able to be at your computer spewing vitriolic bullshit is because of a woman. We need each other for society to function. This is why I say humans are social creatures. It's not just one or the other.
By a man. The car you're driving was designed by a man. Your whole life depends on men. And the second anything bad were to happen to you, the second you were physically threatened, or times were to get hard, or war were to start, or famine, or riots, the first thing you do is find a big strong man, shit yourself, and throw the feminism out the window. Feminism goes out the fucking window the second that the snow needs shoveling, or there's a fucking broken down car, or
What? So some of this is just could be correlated with testosterone. Like, yeah, if we're going to talk about just physical strength, well, testosterone on average makes men stronger, so they would probably be more fit physically for shoveling the driveway. But what do you mean going to war? True that women don't make up like a vast majority of the military by any stretch, but women still apply for the military. Women are still in the military. Women are also excellent at helping the military innovate and develop. Women are excellent at fighting in wars even. Maybe not physical hand-to-hand combat, but a lot of our wars are not like that anymore. Women are in the military right now. Women are protecting our country right now. What are you even talking about? Feminism goes out the window when your car breaks down? Could that have anything to do at all with the fact that women on average are not socialized to take an interest in cars, to think that cars are worth looking into, to have a decent understanding as to how you build cars or how cars work, but men are? Could that have anything at all to do with this? If you have a little boy who grows up and every day his dad tells him, hey, cars are cool. You're a boy. You like cars, right? Don't you want to fix up the car? Come here, I'll show you how the car works. And then every time the girl comes out, he's like, hey, honey, go back inside with mommy. Go bake us some cookies. Make lemonade, okay? And then you're acting surprised that as this girl grows up, she needs a man to help her with car trouble? Okay.
the tirety's changing, then all that crap vanishes. It's garbage. And this is the very interesting thing. I'll make a point here, which is going to get me canceled again, but I don't give a fuck. But this is the point. Feminism in and of itself can't be defended. The point of an idea is that it can be defended by the people who believe in it. This has been the whole point of war since the dawn of time. It doesn't matter if it was the Christians against the Hindus. It doesn't matter if it was the Germans against the French. There were people who had ideas and ideologies, and they were prepared to fight each other to defend their ideology. Feminism is an ideology which cannot be defended by feminists. The only people who could defend feminism are the men who subscribe to the garbage. If all the feminists were to get in a line and say, we want feminism, and the conservative men were to get in a line, you would learn very quickly it's bullshit. I had a friend in Afghanistan when Taliban...
What does that even mean? Are you saying there's no good arguments in favor of certain feminist ideals? Or are you saying only men can argue the feminist ideals correctly? Could it be possible, Andrew Tate, men can sometimes effectively argue certain views of feminism and women can't also, but because you're a sexist pig, that maybe you just don't take the woman seriously? So you're only feel that a good argument's being made by the man? Could that have anything to do with it? There's no commentary to add here. He's just a fucking loser who thinks that he knows it all because he has some money and drives a nice car.
The Americans were telling the girls they could go to school. So they built all these girls' schools, and they put the Afghanistani Defense Forces there, and they funded the Afghanistani Defense Forces to protect these schools. You had American satellites, you had night vision goggles. Taliban were afraid to attack. America leaves. Now you have Afghani Defense Forces. They're basically blind. They don't have satellites anymore. Don't have night vision, whatever. So now it's a real war. The men are standing next to this girls' school. The Taliban are coming. You're some dude. You're standing there, and you're looking at this girls' school going, I don't really give a fuck if girls go to school. Bounce. And you didn't fight. So that's why they all gave up and Taliban took over so quickly. And when I said this, the girls like, yeah, they should have fought for us, feminism.
So they didn't want to fight because they were sexist? And that's the women's fault? We unironically have the blaming the victim of oppression for their oppressors oppressing them. Well, maybe if women just didn't exist, there wouldn't be any sexists. You ever think about that one, bitch? Owned. What are you saying right now? You are inflicting an atrocity on my brain cells right now.
Why don't the women fight?
Can I ask?
Oh, wait, the women can't defend their own fucking idea. You need men to defend feminism. So that's why the whole thing is stupid.
You're talking about a physical building. What? Because every woman didn't run out of her house and pick up a fucking AK-47 lying on the ground and start fighting for her school, feminism can't be defended? How do you even summarize these arguments? There is no argument.
So the second men don't defend it. It just fails as a fucking ideology. It's garbage.
May I tell you something?
Can I be honest that I think debating Andrew Tate would be incredibly difficult, not because he's some beacon of logic and rationale, but because the things he says are so out there and diluted and incoherent, I don't even know where you would start. I've used this example a lot, but I'll use it again. It would be like trying to argue with a blind person about what color blue is. It's like, how do you even begin? How do you even start that? How do you make that argument?
So this is the thing. This is when we assume that women perhaps don't have the physical or even mental ability to go to a war. Wait. Because this is the thing. For example, in Ukraine, a lot of women took up arms. And in fact, I'm Angolan. I'm Angolan. I'm Angolan.
Wait, what's Andrew Tate going to say about that, though? Because it's true. A fuck ton of women did take up arms in Ukraine. That's a good point.
Don't lie.
Listen,
to the people at home.
Wait, no worries. I'll talk about my personal
you wanna
story.
Go to war? You want to fight the front lines?
Let me tell you something. This is the thing. I think.
Wait, no. Yes, meanwhile, all the men are just out here jumping to go to war. My greatest dream in life, is to get fucking shot at. Gee, man, it's just built into my masculine nature. I have the gene, the go fight and die in war for oil gene. That's me. I like how Just Pearly Things girl just like chimes in with nothing but an eye roll and then makes an incoherent point and thinks that she's smart.
It's also really like silly to assume that, for example, a woman, because she didn't go to school, she'll not be as intelligent as a man. Therefore, naturally, a woman is not intelligent. No, it doesn't make sense. If we're now starting to normalize equality and we want to put everybody in the forefront, give a woman a gun.
Who's normalizing equality?
Well, that's what people are wanting. Then that's
people
the case.
Like who?
Let me tell you, Auntie.
Who wants to normalize equality? People like who? Feminists. Who else wants to?
Well, actually, no equality. I want respect. That's really what I want.
Stopping you from getting respect.
Exactly.
No, I get respect.
Respect is encompassed by equality. Not discriminating against you on the basis of the fact that you're a woman is equality, and it's respect. Wait, is she the feminist getting destroyed? Who's the feminist getting destroyed right now? So far, the only thing that's been destroyed are my brain cells. There's literally a fucking holocaust taking place right now towards my brain cells.
I get respect. I get respect.
So,
that's what I want. That's what I like.
Respect.
What I think is...
You don't even know what you want.
I'll tell you what I want.
Know what you want. You want equality,
as a woman, I carry myself
respect.
differently. I actually hold the things that I have done in the fights that I fought. I hold it. That's why when you speak to me, I don't move different. I move different to many of the girls. That's why when you talk to me and you argue with me, I don't take it. You do sometimes. And I'll tell you something. A lot of women may have the accolades to be somebody, but they are uncomfortable to own that. And the reason why, then I would like to ask you, for example, I do need a man, for example, to, procreate. But other than that, I'm quite strong. And I would find a way to protect myself differently. With that mentality, what would be the man that would be for me then?
Denava, what would you do if one of these security guards broke into your door?
What would I do? I'll tell you.
What would you do?
What would the man do? What do you think I would do? Call the police? I love this assumption that us men are just the wild beasts. We see a threat. We smell and sense the danger. So we're ready to attack with our claws. What are you talking about? Women can use guns. Women can call 911.
No, seriously, there's no guns here.
She's a feminist.
I'll tell you. No, I'm not a feminist. I'm not a feminist. I'm a bit smarter. I'd play dead. One. Yeah.
Okay, they see you're not dead.
It's okay.
They
No,
see
I'd
you
be like
breathing.
this. And then if not, maybe I would kind of like be very gentle and comply to find a way to get out of it.
So
if they want to come and kill me.
She gave a very bad answer. She should have said I would have called 911 as virtually any rational human being would do. You realize that it's smarter to call 911? Let's say somebody breaks in, okay, and then you beat that person to death. Do you have evidence that you acted in self-defense? Because now you have blood on your hands. Now there's DNA evidence showing that you killed somebody. Do you have evidence that you were acting in self-defense? Is there enough evidence of forced entry to suggest that? You could get in trouble with the law. Even in a practical sense, it makes more sense to call the goddamn cops. Holy shit. It's like stupid arguing with stupid, hosted by stupid.
There's not much that many people can do.
But let's make an important point. You're talking about equality equaling respect. The way you get respect as a woman is by being feminine. There's nothing, we can be equal and very, very different. I'm not saying that there's not equality, but you've confused equality with the same. You can be equal with completely different things. You can have a bishop and a knight on a chessboard. They're equal in terms of points, but they do different things, right? A woman can have equal respect to a man if she is very good at being a woman, and a man gets respect for being very good at being a man. When a woman decides she wants to act like a man, or a man wants to act like a woman, that's where all gets fucked up. We try and pretend.
Gee, it's almost like there's really weird and oppressive societal expectations. Turns out that because you say crying is something for women to do, when a man cries, which is healthy, normal, and benefits mental health, you're going to say that's womanly, which leads to, well, maybe that man should suppress his emotions, which leads to negative outcomes, a higher likelihood that man will act out in abuse against his partner, and a higher likelihood that he'll fucking off himself. Gee, it's almost like arguing that this is the way things are is somehow not a very good argument.
It's the same. It's not the same. Men and women are good at different things. We have different strengths, different weaknesses. There's nothing wrong with accepting that. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'm a woman, I'm good at X, he's a man, he's good at Y. Then we work together as a team, we have a beautiful family, we're happy forever. It's only confused where you have women who sit and go, no, because in the name of equality, we can fight and work. There's no fucking women on the front line in Ukraine. That is psyop bullshit. They put some chick there dancing around doing Pokemon dances to try and convince men to go fucking die in a ditch.
Wait, how many women are fighting in Ukraine? More than 10% of Ukrainian combat personnel fighting were female, and more than 13,000 women received the status of combatant. So where is this pretend, Andrew? Where? Hey, where is this pretend? Where's this a psyops? Just make it up, you know? No, that's a lie because I feel like it, okay? Ignore the statistics, though. Bullshit science, at it again. Again, I say this all the time. The reason these manosphere, red pill fucking degenerate cucks hate science and hate statistics is because they all prove them wrong. That's why they don't like science and statistics and research. Because if they followed the science and the statistics and the research, they would not be able to hold these beliefs without being a scumbag grifter. 10% is not statistically substantial. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. 13,000 women fighting as combatants? Yes, that actually is very substantial. I guess you can just like cope harder.
It's garbage. If you go to the front line of Ukraine right now, you do not see women in their makeup and their manicures. You see fucking men in the freezing cold dying. You know where the women are? Dubai, chilling. That's where the women are. So to sit and pretend that women are just as capable physically as men is a fucking lie.
Weren't some of the women like forced to leave also? Didn't they like evacuate women?
It's delusion. To say that you're as strong as men is delusion.
Also, that's an unfair point also because some women had to leave with their children. You just said women should be with the children. Now you're giving an example of some women who fled a war-torn region with their children to protect their children as an own on women. So like women acting the way that you say women should act, women wrecked.
You are good at other things. You're better than men at a lot of things, but it's not the physical world.
As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized.
Oh, that's the end of it. Okay. So there you guys have it. If we pretend that it's 300 years ago and ignore statistics, deny reality, then Andrew Tate sort of gives the semblance of a possible coherent, half-baked thought. Round of applause here. This is the rational male, by the way. Round of applause. Man. Whew. We bow down to your immense wisdom. King Solomon. There's not even anything left to say. Also, where was the feminist that got destroyed? No feminist got destroyed. This was just like Andrew Tate ranting and rambling for 10 minutes and then occasionally a girl like chiming in and mostly agreeing with him. Apparently this is what it looks like when you escape the Matrix. You took the red pill along with the fucking Xanax or something, dude. You've been popping way too many pills. Okay. Well, there you guys have it. Andrew Tate is a beta cuck, still being demonstrated to this day. Wow. RJ Grant, thank you for the $2. The feminist is the one woman who didn't talk. Ah, okay. So she got wrecked by not speaking.